I think the first thing to realize is video was born out of the fact that users and advertisers both were asking for it. It's a new medium for storytelling for us, right? Just as we evolved from an editorial perspective into things like infographics and better photographs, it was video that our users were asking for. So we doubled down on one, video production, but then bringing in people that really understood the medium very, very well. Video has become integral to, I think, every aspect of how we look at storytelling. I don't sit on the editorial side, so I don't want to speak too much for how they think about it, but it's become a major storytelling capability from both a breaking news perspective as well as long-form production. And it's grown substantially, I think, since we were there. The live component versus VOD, there's two ways to look at it. One, as others have said, we basically look at it as a great way to create content, right? Live is probably the most efficient way that you can create scale. But really, the mantra or the ethos that we looked at was, we want to be live when our users needed us to be. We wanted to go in depth when they wanted us to be. And as we talked about over the years, we are platform agnostic in regards to where we put our content. So we want to be everywhere our users could want to consume our content, or where new users will be. So everything from YouTube to Yahoo to Instagram to Apple TV, you'll find Wall Street Journal Live.
So what are the opportunities for advertisers? You have shows that are sponsored, you sell pre-roll. Tell us about the opportunities for sponsors both on the site and if there are opportunities for them in a more syndicated scenario.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple different ways that we've looked at that. One is run of site, run of network, getting in front of the audience of the Wall Street Journal, the most powerful, the most affluent, the most important audience to be in front of. Pre-roll is a great opportunity to do that. I think what we found over time is advertisers are now investing more heavily in creating better content on their own end, right? The days of just chopping something that was made for broadcast and throwing it on digital hopefully is a thing of the past, or will become a thing of the past. Interactive ads, more engaging content is, I think, where you're starting to see the direction that at least our advertisers are taking with 15s and 30s. The second piece is looking at content marketing. Obviously, we've launched a custom studio at the Journal. Post studios at the New York Post is something that's we're very excited about. To be frank, I think every one of our assets has created their own custom studios and content marketing teams that are doing everything from content creation from a video perspective, as well as obviously text, to helping with that syndication angle.
So what's your approach to content marketing? I mean, obviously the editorial sort of is contextualized to an article. It's the player sits there, you kind of see what's going on with a particular news story. Why do people want to watch native advertising, sponsored advertising that may not be specifically tied to the news of the day? And how is that surfaced?
I think I think, to be frank, the answer to that first question is most people don't. Because a lot of the content that's being created for brands is not very good. People don't have a lot of time in the day. Why would I waste my time watching garbage? But I think what you're starting to get is brands understanding that they need to invest heavily in creating high quality content around topics that are interesting for a user to read. I think the execution, to be frank, that the New York Times did with Orange is the New Black was fantastic. And you look at things like that, I think that's where you're going to see the industry headed. But I think it's a sensibility and the knowledge that we have internally in regards to creating high quality content that is extremely engaging, that users do spend a lot of time consuming and come back for. It's that sensibility that we have that we can help brands as they think about content creation. And what better opportunity than to work with the likes of the Journal, the Post, the Times of London, and other assets when it comes to understanding content creation.
And tell us a little bit about cross-platform. And you mentioned earlier you're highly distributed. What's happening? Particularly, we're interested in mobile, both phones and also tablets, and how consumption is developing there, and how advertisers play in that on those platforms.
I think we bet early on mobile when it came to video at the Journal. The first thing that we launched was an iPhone app and an iPad app. And it wasn't only because that was a medium that we wanted to be on. It was the initial launch sponsor said we absolutely want to understand what the mobile offering is. That's something that's become integral across how we sell the product or the platform. I think what we're trying to, when we look at our how we sell video, it's very much a network, right? What we've been able to show is our users are everywhere, and they're consuming our content on these platforms. So whether they're coming to the homepage of the Wall Street Journal or they're coming to Roku or Apple TV, they are Wall Street Journal users or users that want to be Wall Street Journal affiliated. So for that reason, we're able to work with advertisers who want to be in front of those users. And again, consistently sold out. It's something that just continues to just work for us.